What's wrong with my face? It's so splotchy. I'm glad
Milo,
we're not
you
on
look
video.
fine.
No.
I don't know.
I'm so
I don't
splotchy.
see anything.
Well, I took it off the HD, so you can't see my wide open pores anymore. See?
You can't go dungeon delving in her pores anymore.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
There's always next time.
Okay.
Never say never.
Oh my god, you guys.
Oh, man.
Sensitive about my pores.
You're the one that pointed them out.
I gotta laugh to keep from crying.
Oh my gosh. Marlo, I'm sorry we talked about your gaping pores.
Bleep that out. Bleep that out, future Marlo.
That's how you start the episode. Just that. No context.
Hello, friends. This is David White, and you are listening to Sins of the Father.
Alright, business time.
You know what time
It's never straight to business.
It's time for business.
It's never straight to business with the Sins of the Father crew.
It's never straight to business with any of our crew in the entire network.
It's true. It's true. Very true.
We don't know what business is.
That's not a bad thing. It's just true.
We just play games and record it.
Yeah, basically.
We're just here to play games and kick ass. And we're all,
We're all out of
ass.
ass.
Wow, out of kicks.
Alright, Jackson, whisk me away to a desert. Oh, wait, we're not in the desert anymore.
To the Feywild.
I was like, what? Okay, I mean, sure. Time travel.
Flashback time.
Hey, remember when we were in that desert like 20 minutes ago?
Remember that shaman we met there?
There's always a shaman. Let's see. Walk through the portal in spooky Feywild woods. Big tower in the distance. Bam. That's where we left off. If at any point you guys need to take a rest, you could probably do that.
We did take a...
Do we need a rest?
We took a short
Most
rest.
of your spell slots are
That's true, that's true.
they ain't there, Chief. Except the warlock. They
yeah.
only get 2.
I have 2 first levels and 2 third levels and nothing else.
That is true. So, looking around us, like, what do we see in our immediate vicinity?
Lots of oddly pastel-colored trees surrounding you, with no signs of wildlife or other entities in your immediate vicinity. And I'll give you that for free without a perception check.
But what if I did roll a perception check?
Go ahead and roll one if you want to. What are you looking for?
What do you got to lose?
Okay, here we go. I want to look for a place that would look appropriate for us to sleep in, like a well-protected little knoll, not a lot of like disturbance from creatures around, so like we're not just making our bed in like a fey creature's den or something.
Oh god, I haven't played D&D in a bit. That sounds like a survival check.
Well, I rolled an 18.
An 18.
Pretty good.
Yes. You very easily find something a little bit off the beaten path, but not too far. A good, nice, small clearing. Very defensible if need be.
What is this place?
This is definitely not the desert we are in, and does not look like any forest I have ever been in.
It looks like an elf puked all over everything. No
Hey,
offense.
hey. Much taken.
Not your kind of elf.
Didn't that Sphinx say it was... What did it say before it brought us here?
Roughly what it said is, you'd find what you seek. Cough, cough.
It said we could find what we seek here. But this doesn't look like a shore of collapse to me.
Yes, I was a little curious about what a shore would look like in the middle of a desert, but it definitely was not this.
This is a forest.
I gotta think a Sphinx knows a little bit more than us about this, so... I guess we're going in here.
Bibonese kind of nudges his head in the direction of that group of trees that he saw earlier. If we need to rest from our trials earlier, that copse of trees looks defensible.
I am tired and my spines are a little dusty.
I'd say let's do it.
Alright, we plod over to the area.
And as described before, it's a nice small little clearing that is reasonably defensible in case of ambush or attacks. So a campfire is set up? Question mark.
Yes.
For a long rest.
Gallus cleans himself up in his barrel.
So, Zephin's gonna lay out his bedroll and look around at you guys and just say, who wants to take first watch?
I could do that if you would like.
Yeah, I think I'll take a rest.
Appreciate it, big guy.
Yes, sleep well, friends. Who will I wake up once my watch is done?
I'll take second watch.
Sounds good. I got third.
Very well. And Bibonese will stand up and kind of pace around the perimeter of these trees, these pastel-colored trees.
Bibonese. Roll percentile.
Ooh, a percentile.
That's right, you gotta have at least one of them. Does anything happen?
I rolled a 64.
Nothing happens.
Cool.
You have a nice, peaceful pace around the campfire till you wake up Gallus.
Yeah. And then Bibonese removes his armor and lays down on his bedroll, which is really just two bedrolls stitched together.
It is a good bedroll.
This is a good bedroll.
Gallus pops out of his barrel, and he's also kind of just going to pace around, kind of arcing electricity between his fins, practicing his spells.
And then he rolls percentile. Yes.
8.
Let me check what I wrote down over here.
8%.
That's right, I wrote down some stuff that you weren't aware of.
Oh no.
I take notes sometimes.
Uh-oh.
Nothing happens.
Of course.
I don't feel good about this.
Man.
Who knows? Do you need to roll low, roll high? Somewhere in between?
Random numbers?
Random?
It is the
So yes, nothing happens.
Okay.
You feel like you have mastered a new type of spell.
Lightning
Spell.
bolt.
Like lightning bolt.
I see what you did there.
Alright, Gallus just kind of paces around for a bit and then wakes up Zephyr.
When you come over there, Zephyr is snoring loudly.
I spark him.
He has moved it because he had his head wrapped around his eyes to kind of like block out some of this pastel because it's bothering his gothic brain. And he pulls it off and looks at you. He's like, "Why does everything you do annoy me?"
It's time to wake up, elf.
Okay. He gets up and pulls a mirror out of his bag and like combs through his hair, adjusts himself, wipes the drool off, and uses his water skin to splash a little water on his face, then gets up and starts patrolling.
Nice.
I'm sure you know what I'm about to say.
I'm already shaking him.
Please roll.
64.
It's very similar to what David rolled.
I think that's exactly what I rolled.
Is it?
But what you fail to understand is the numbers. These numbers mean something.
See, if you add all three together.
You get 136.
That was
A very significant number in the Feywild.
Ooh.
As you walk around the campfire patrolling, nothing seems out of the ordinary till something catches the corner of your eye.
Till something seems out of the ordinary.
Yes, exactly. You see where I'm going with this.
I am going to let this thing catch my eye and look at it.
And you see a small orb of light just seeming to float in the middle of the trees. Right outside of camp.
I'm gonna try to identify what that light might be in my brain.
An Arcana check.
Arcana.
Makes sense.
Oh, I'm good at
I
that.
was gonna say, you probably should be.
Until you're not, because the dice say no.
I say no. It's a 7.
Oof.
5 of that is me.
a 7 for Sephin? A Sephin Zevin? That's hard to say.
A Sephin Zevin?
A Sephin Zevin?
It seems familiar to you. You know it has something to do with one of the planes of existence, but you just can't get your finger on it as to what it is. As it seems to, like, very quickly move closer to where you are in patrol around the edge of camp.
I'm gonna move closer to it. See if I can get a better look, see it.
Give me a perception check as you step closer to this curious orb of light.
14.
You make out in this orb of light there is a small winged humanoid.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
General Zephin. As you call out to it, you see it kind of dart behind one of the trees, and then, almost if coming from all around you, you hear what seems to be a mixture of multiple voices addressing you, and they're all saying, Corruptor.
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 I'm not sure what you mean.
Every step you take taints this land. You bring his influence here.
Zephin at first is confused, but then It's like realization slams him in the face. His eyes get wide. He looks down at the ground. He doesn't have anything to say.
And then the voices fade away. And you don't see that small orb of light dancing around anymore. And the rest of your watch passes.
I wish one of you guys had found that little friend. Maybe they would have been nice to you.
Or, who knows?
Maybe not.
They could have said some really nasty stuff
Get rid.
about one of your crew members.
You're scaly and slimy and nobody likes you.
Now that's just mean, elf.
Is that what Gallus wakes up to?
Is it?
Just a boot in the side? How rude!
Yes.
What?
No, I'm joking.
I was gonna say.
No. So Zethan goes and lightly shakes his friends. Except Gallus is in a bucket of water, right?
Barrel, yeah.
A barrel. Mm-hmm. He's gonna just tap the side of the barrel.
Is it time already?
It is. And he's gonna go to Bibinice and just shake his shoulder gently.
Is everything alright? Are you well, friend Zephyr?
He thinks for a second, nods, and says, yes. I'm fine.
Good. And then Bibini stands up and starts singing in that low, sonorous tone to himself and, starts putting on his armor. And, just spending some quiet time meditating and, praying to God before setting out for today.
Oh, yes. You're preparing spells, aren't you?
I am.
Ah, yes. Excellent.
So, Bibinice is preparing spells.
Yes.
Cool.
Other than that, nothing is actively accosting you or attacking you.
Once Bibinice has his spells picked out, looks at the tower in the distance and raises one foot and then lowers it back down.
Do you think that is the fortress of the Iron Tyrant?
It's the only landmark we got, so hopefully.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
Are we prepared for what we might find inside?
I'm prepared for anything if it leads to treasure.
Yeah, Zephyr looks like scatterbrained. He's like, yeah, we got this. It'll be fine.
Very well. We should go.
Zephyr's gonna shoulder his pack and just start walking that direction.
Yeah,
Same.
Gallus gathers up his barrel and everything and starts waddling back behind him.
Alrighty. As you guys make your way out, are you just using the tower as a landmark, or are you going to try and maneuver towards any kind of trail that you find?
I don't know.
Do we?
I
Okay.
feel like I should, but I don't.
I mean, it's up
I
to you.
feel like we head straight towards the tower, but do we find a trail?
Who knows? What?
Because we didn't start on a trail, did we?
No, you just kind of started right at
The edge of
in the forest, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, who wants to roll to see if you guys found a trail?
I think I'm leading the pack, right?
That's survival.
There you go.
But yeah.
Could
I
I,
mean, wait a minute.
assist in this role?
Let me see what my survival is.
What is it? Survival is what I asked. I didn't know if David Jackson was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I got a +1, so I'm not feeling too bad about that.
Oh no.
You should have felt bad about that.
My garbage dice tonight. It's a 9.
You
I
did not find the trail.
Before she rolled, I did say, and we can listen back to the audio, I did say
Yes.
I assist with this roll.
Oh, okay.
Roll again.
Come on, Milo!
Roll with advantage. Is it worse?
I'm guessing it was the same or
It's a
worse.
5.
Oh no.
Total?
Oh no.
I'm finding a new dice tonight.
Yeah, you probably should. Oh no.
Well, you guys don't really seem to find a path as you're walking. Yeah, using the tower as your bearing. But making your way towards it, you notice that the ground has steadily gone to a decline as you seem to be going down towards what seems to be a large canyon almost. Very high walls on the sides.
So yeah, he's like walking. He's not even paying attention to the fact that they're down out in a canyon. He's just walking. He's so in his head.
Since Zephyr is in his head, how about Gallus? Give me a perception check. Let's get some die rolling.
18.
You don't see it so much as you feel it as you guys continue to go deeper into this canyon. The atmosphere seems to be getting lighter.
As in, like, lower gravity lighter?
You feel very loose and light. And you see ahead of you, peering past Bibanice and Zephyr, there seem to be about 1 to 2 feet in diameter orbs of water bouncing and like passing through the canyon walls in different directions. As you guys get closer, unless you say anything, the others will notice it.
The hell is that?
Is it supposed to do that?
And you see, as you guys get closer, that in these spheres, there's actual life, like fish and other aquatic life, floating around in it.
Look, it's your family!
My family's dead, Zephyr, you know that.
Jesus. You always gotta just... Whatever I'm doing, you just gotta go the opposite direction, don't you?
Those fish are far too small to be his family anyways.
I mean, my
Thanks,
cousin
goodness.
is a guppy. His name is Nemo.
I feel like at this point, Zephyr and Gallus like laugh to each other.
And Bibanice ponders the possibilities of that statement.
So this water is like, is it bouncing off the canyon walls, like going back and forth, or is it going through it?
There are channels, almost like small holes and stuff that have been, over time, you would assume, like weather-worn holes in the walls of the canyon.
Okay.
Some seem to be passing through and keep going, while others are like hitting solid rock and then bouncing off of it, just very slowly and listlessly floating through the air.
I would like to use shape water to stop the movement of one of them and inspect it.
So you pull one of the orbs down to you and start looking at it. It's filled with just aquatic life. There's not just fish or other living creatures. There's algae, plant life, that kind of stuff. Almost like a miniature aquarium.
Bibanice is looking over Gallus's shoulder because this is super fascinating.
Zephyr's over the other shoulder.
There's some very strange magic at work here.
That was ominous, and I love it.
I'm leaving
But
it in.
I
hope that
I was
appears.
just about to say something ominous too. And there was just a
Such a
rumble
loud clap.
That was perfect.
as you all lean closer and are expecting just this very simple aquatic life. You see one of the fish kind of stop in its movement, and then it just slowly turns over and just floats up.
Aww.
And then you see the other fish also just stop, and they all float up to the top very listlessly.
I release my hold on it and let it go back to what it was doing.
As you do, you can see, you watch as all the plant life in it as well is decaying into like rotting very quickly. And as you push it back, it bumps into one of the water orbs and you see it start to go. And then for almost a brief second, you all look, and it, right as it passes through the canyon wall, looks to be a very brackish yellow eye goes into the canyon wall. Hello friends, and welcome to episode 7 of Sins of the Father, Trove of the Iron Tyrant. I'm your Dungeon Master, Jackson Chandler. I'd like to say thank you to our new patron, Cassia Ortego. Thank you, Cassia. We are once again trying to get back to our $400 a month milestone, where all of our players will be able to get paid for recording episodes. As of this recording, we are only $11 away from that goal. Don't forget to support us on iTunes, and if you leave us a review, send us a copy of it at misconceptionspod@gmail.com to receive a free Sins of the Father decal. That's all for now. Let's get back to the episode.
What did you do?
What did I do?
Yeah.
Wait, you saw that too, right?
Yeah. Looks like you killed some of your kinfolk.
Have we seen, like, eyes like this before?
One of us has, I think, right?
They seem familiar, almost as if you'd seen them in a dream or some nightmare at some point. Except to Zephin. It's very familiar.
Zephin, who is just giving him shit, looks at it as it turns into an eye and just cocks his head to the side and looks back down at the ground and is suddenly silent.
Can I do a perception check to catch that little bit of information from Zephin?
Sure, yes, I mean, both of you can if you want to, Bibanice and Gallus.
I rolled an 11.
I rolled a 10.
Seeing as how it is only the three of y'all, you do see kind of a downtrodden look on Zephin's face, as, like, shoulders kind of slump and everything.
Elf, don't worry, it didn't hurt my feelings, I'm fine.
Yeah, okay, thanks. He just, like, lets that be the narrative.
Perhaps we should keep moving.
Yeah, suddenly this place doesn't feel so safe anymore. For a fish like me.
You guys continue forward. Bibanice, give me a perception check. Being the tall one in the group.
I'm the tall boy. Is it based on smell?
No, it is not. Unfortunately, no.
I have a 19.
There's the split second out of the corner of your eye, you see something kind of change as you guys are walking along on both sides. And then you slight glance back and you see that as you guys are walking, the orbs you pass, the same thing is happening.
Like those fish are dying and yellow orbs
The life
are appearing?
in them is dying and rotting, turning into this very thick black ichor orb that then a yellowish brackish eye appears inside of.
I don't think I'm gonna mention it, but I think I am gonna just keep a bead on those floating yellow eye orbs and just kind of see if anything else is going to change or happen with all that.
You guys keep taking this meandering path through the canyon. The same atmosphere is throughout the whole thing. You're watching little orbs of aquatic life bouncing around through the different channels, and nothing is accosting you. It seems peaceful.
Like this. It's like picking the mean options in a game.
Sometimes you have to. Let's be honest. Sometimes you have to leave a crew member on the shore or shoot Rex in the back of the head. There's some pretty messed up options.
True.
And sometimes the game forces them on you.
Sometimes the DM forces them on you.
Sometimes the DM forces them on you because of your patron being what it is.
Truth.
I apologize,
But not really.
We don't know anything about Zephin's patron, right? Zephin hasn't let on to us at all about that.
Zephin, that's up to you.
No.
I think we know it involves tentacly things. That's about it.
Turning around and looking, you see just nothing but these yellow eyes floating around.
Okay, but those yellow eyes are still like passing through the canals and stuff. They're not like stopping and watching.
Correct.
Okay.
Creepy.
Bibinice will he'll just act like he's just kind of meandering and looking around, but he's going to place himself behind Gallus and Zephin in the marching order, trying to put himself in between them and the floating eyes.
And as you begin to notice there's an incline now, you've been walking for a couple hours at this point through this canyon, and begin to make your way up and out of the canyon. You've still been able to see the tower this whole time, by the way.
I was just about to ask where that tower at.
Yeah. You've been able to see it this whole time. It is gargantuan.
Do we appear to be any closer?
Yes. You have made distance on it. Or you have closed distance on it.
Is it more forest ahead now?
It would appear so, yes. There's more foresty, just general nature, the same pastel colors. In the trees themselves, you see that there are a couple that seem to almost blend the four seasons together. But still, outside of the fish and other aquatic life, no other animal life has come close or interacted with you that you've even seen. It's very still in the forest.
What time of day is it?
You don't know what time of day it is. The sky itself seems to look the same as when you first entered this area. It's just dark patches of violet and very light blues just swirled in the sky themselves. But no, you don't really see any kind of sun or moon, but everything is lit as if something is up in the sky.
And was it like that whenever we took our long rest, like we slept through
Yes.
the night? It was still that color?
Yes. Yeah, when you slept through the night, quote unquote.
This is a strange place. We should be careful.
It's strange, yeah. Zephin has shoved his hands in his pockets and is slouched over.
Gallus is just kind of glancing around. He does not like this place. It feels weird.
Can we get out of here?
Yeah. Speaking of that, you all would have noticed or felt that just this place gives off just this spine chill. It's not natural in terms of what you guys would think of as nature and everything. It just feels wrong. You walk forward and you notice that there's a break in the tree line. You see a large river that runs down and turns into a lake.
Water.
Gallus picks up the pace and kind of trots over towards the river.
We should be careful, Gallus.
It's water. Water is good.
And it's not stagnant water.
This whole place does not feel good.
Nothing feels good. Let's look at it. He follows Gallus towards the water.
Yeah. Gallus is going to take a look down in it, just kind of peer into it.
Lake or the
Is
river?
it like, or the river?
Okay, it's just a river that runs into a lake. Okay, it's a running river, babbling water. You see plant life and other aquatic life moving around in the water.
Zephyr is kept back about, 20 feet from the water. He won't get close to it.
Bibanice.
Bibanice is right next to Gallus, in case he needs to grab him.
Okay. Nothing jumps out, reaches out, pulls him in, pulls him under. Seems just like a normal running river of sorts.
Where is the tower in relation to all of this? Do we have to pass over this stuff to get to it?
Yes, it is. You'd have to just cross right over the river. It's not wide enough that you'd need to ford the river, and it's not running rapidly enough that it would contest you moving across it. It's a very gentle river.
And if we tried to go around the lake, would that be incredibly hard to do?
You can just follow the river and just walk around the lake. Wouldn't take much effort to do.
Zephyr is looking around the lake to kind of determine okay, this is this big, it's gonna take me this much longer to go around it. If I don't want to get in this water, can I go around it?
Gallus is going to jump in.
You jump in and you would expect it to be a cold river, but it's a very warm, room temperature, very soothing temperature.
He's going to flop back onto his back and just kind of float.
Oh, this water is amazing.
Gallus, please be careful.
It's fine, Bibanice. It's fine.
Bibanice's ears are flared out to the side, and he's pacing back and forth along the shore.
Nothing bad happens. If Gallus continues to float in this river, he will reach the lake. On a very leisurely journey.
Lazy river.
Of about 5 minutes.
Perhaps we just cross the river to the other side.
Is he saying that to Gallus or to me?
To you, because Gallus gone. He floated.
Zephyr shakes his head. I don't want to get near it.
I could carry you across.
He thinks for a second. That might work, yeah.
Why do you not want to touch it?
It's just, I don't know. He's a fish, there are more waters, waters that might not be so good for us, might be better for a fish. He's lying through his teeth.
Do I know he's lying?
I don't know.
That would be a perception
check.
check.
I feel like this is going to be a contested.
Like a contested roll.
Bibanice, you're using insight, and Zephyr, you are using deception.
Nice.
25, excuse me.
I roll a 7.
Finally, that 6 plus 6 in deception comes in handy.
Does it?
Sounds true.
Is this a good thing?
Zephyr speaks the truth.
This is a good point. Maybe we should not cross the river.
I hear their conversation.
If you're that worried about it, elf, here, I'll make you a bridge.
And I just kind of spread my fins out on, like, beside me and freeze a portion of the water.
Perfect. Zephin just, like, marches across it.
And Bibinice will follow.
Guys, cross over to the other side of the river. Nothing grabs ya. No bad things. It's just...
All right. I climb up on the other side of the riverbank.
You continue onward and reach a massive fortress that stands before you. It is very imposing and ominous looking compared to its surroundings.
This is a lot bigger than it looked from way back there.
You all would also notice that coming up on it, it seems much in the way some of the buildings you'd seen back in Bog Buldar, it's that very sheen quality wood that's almost metallic, and it seems like the majority of this entire fortress is made of that same material. What you would assume is the ironwood. And it's overgrown in places, just rampant wildlife growth has taken over parts of it.
This must be the fortress of the Iron Tyrant. If you remember the tale that we were told in Bog Buldar, the crone said that he took the ironwood for himself. Maybe he made a fortress out of it.
Just seems like the kind of creepy place an Iron Tyrant would build a fortress. Makes sense.
Yeah, hardwood. What's inside?
Iron.
Iron is hard, therefore hardwood. Come on, big guy.
He's got a point.
Semantics. Let's go inside.
Yes.
So you make your way through the heavy brush and flora into what seems to be a large chamber inside of the fortress itself that seems to tower so far above you you almost can't make out the ceiling. And you continue slowly making your way cautiously through this fortress before you come into what seems to be a much larger room. You can see most of this plant life has been almost growing in this direction towards this room. And you see, following the plant life as the room expands further and further out, what seems to be a metal throne that looks very foreign to the rest of this room, completely coated in large amounts of plant life and flora.
Like Bibinice-sized chair?
No, much larger than that.
Oh boy.
It is a throne that fits the size of this fortress in terms of proportions.
So towering.
Why don't we say, how dumb tall is this thing? Like 50, 60
Wow.
feet tall.
Wow.
Now that is a good chair.
Yes, it looks very finely made.
What could possibly need a chair that big?
A real big guy.
Everyone roll a perception check.
8.
Give it to
This
me.
is seeing, not smelling, by the way.
Darn.
Mr. locks it
He
on.
just goes up and smells the seat.
Yeah.
Smells like plants.
11.
You guys are still a ways away from the seat.
I rolled a 23.
Nice.
Jesus. I rolled an 11.
You're kind of distracted by everything in the room. It's a lot to take in. Zephin, you notice that there's something that all this plant life is growing in that same direction and seems to be going towards something on the throne. Bibanice, you see what seems to be almost a hole in the middle of some of this plant life that almost has this low pulsing heartbeat as you see flashes of red. Just every so often, just a thump, thump. And it's just covered in the plant life, every inch of it.
Zephin's gonna walk and follow the path of the plant life.
Wasn't it trailing in here?
Yeah, the plant life was trailing in here up to the throne itself.
Oh, I see.
Into this mass, gnarled, twisting wood and flora mound almost on the throne itself. So Zephin, you start walking up. Bibanice, Gallus.
Yeah, Bibanice.
Yeah, following
Oh,
him.
yeah.
As you guys get about 60 feet into this room, you hear this large crack and crashing of wood splitting. Bibanice, do you point out that red pulsing to the rest of the party?
Yeah. I tap like Zephin's shoulder and point over towards it.
The hell is that?
As you guys get up and you hear that cracking of wood and splintering, you see that the pulse is starting to get faster as a large section of the brush is thrown across the room as you see breaking free from it a giant metal-clad hand. Ooh. And then the other arm breaks off of the throne. And you see just cascading mounds of wood and stuff splintering as it slams into the ground. And rising out of the throne, very gnarled hole in the chest with that red pulse coming out of it, is the alleged Iron Tyrant. End of episode.
Oh boy.
I'm so excited.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Next episode will be released on December 7th. Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at SinsOfThePod. If you need to contact us, you can send us an email to misconceptionspod@gmail.com. Sins of the Father is only possible thanks to y'all, so we'd appreciate it if you would spread the word about our show if you enjoy it. And if you're feeling especially generous, you can always donate to us through our Patreon page. However you decide to help out, we greatly appreciate it. Sins of the Father is an actual play podcast using the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition role-playing game by Wizards of the Coast. Sins of the Father is a part of the Misconceptions Podcast Network. That about covers it for now, and as always, keep rolling crits.
Hey, what's a lightning deity in D&D that I could use? Because I don't know them off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
How dare you oust me for not knowing these things?
I'm sorry!
He scoffed so hard he choked.
I mean, I could always just go for Thor or Zeus, but